Welcome guys back to another video on the channel. Today we'll be talking about Emiliano Martinez because Aston Villa have reportedly submitted a second offer for Arsenal goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. Aston Villa have gone back in with a fresh offer for Arsenal keeper Emiliano Martinez, according to reports. After years at the North London club without any real opportunities, the Argentine deputised brilliantly when Bernd Leno was injured towards the end of last season. Martinez wants to be number one now and faces a straight shootout with the German for a starting berth. Mikel Arteta will have one of the toughest decisions of a managerial career so far in who to pick for Arsenal's Premier League opener away at Fulham on Saturday. According to The Athletic, Aston Villa have made a second bid for Martinez, which is set to be closer to the Gunners' £20 million valuation. Dean Smith is able to offer a goalkeeper a starting spot, with Tom Heaton now injured for the beginning of the new season. However, the report states that Arsenal will not let the 28-year-old leave until they have a suitable replacement. Brentford's David Raya is at top of their wish list, but the Championship club will not wish to sell. Martinez started Arsenal's Community Shield win over Liverpool and featured in their 3-2 pre-season friendly defeat to Aston Villa on Saturday. Gunners hero Kevin Campbell believes Martinez should hold on to the number one spot ahead of Leno. What I've seen from Martinez, I would go with Martinez because I think he can make that defence a lot more settled. The former Arsenal and Everton striker told Stadio Astro last month they don't panic, and when he's behind them, I don't see them panic but I do see them panic when Leno is there. So, that is quite bold from Kevin Campbell, suggesting that Martinez should keep his spot in the side. In my opinion, I do think Martinez should also keep his spot. I think at the moment, he is the best goalkeeper and he should be keeping his place in the side. And it's very important that he does because, it won't show much authority from Mikel Arteta if he drops Emi Martinez now because, you have to be playing your best goalkeeper. And right now, Emi Martinez is the best goalkeeper. And I do think Mikel Arteta will start him because in the Community Shield, Bernd Leno was the most fittest, he was the most ready. Martinez only just came back from his holiday, yet Martinez did play instead of Leno, so it's very difficult for Leno to take, probably because he was the one back in training before Martinez. But Mikel Arteta is making a statement out there saying Martinez will start the games because he is the better goalkeeper at the moment, and Bernd Leno will have to work his way back into the side, whether that's through Carabao Cup, Europa League, FA Cup, whatnot, and maybe the odd Premier League game if Martinez is safe for another game. And maybe if Martinez gets injured or makes a couple of mistakes, it will put a lot of pressure on him and it will probably get Bernd Leno back into the side. So it's a huge decision. I do agree with this report suggesting it's Mikel Arteta's probably the worst decision, probably the biggest decision you have to make in his managerial career, because these are two goalkeepers who are at the top level. They are really good goalkeepers. What do you guys think in the comment section down below? Do you think we should keep Martinez or Bernd Leno in goal? Who do you think should be our number one? Tell me as well. And the news that Emi Martinez has had a bid from Aston Villa of £20 million, which Arsenal will consider and would let go. In my opinion, don't let them go. Don't let either of these keepers go. Let them fight it out for a number one position and try and sort this out in January, because we've got other positions to deal with first, like the midfield. So it'd be better if we deal with that first and sort out the goalkeeper situation in January. If one of them isn't happy or unhappy, that'll be, we'll have to wait and see for that. So that is the news with Emi Martinez. So the next piece of news is on Samuel Umtiti. Man United and Arsenal former transfer target Samuel Umtiti could leave for Barcelona for free and have his contract ripped up. Man United and former Arsenal transfer target in the last few years, Samuel Umtiti could leave for Arsenal for free. These are reports coming out of Spain from Mundo Deportivo. Reports the French defender could see his contract, which runs until 2023 for another 3 years, actually ripped up as Barcelona consider letting him leave for nothing. Umtiti, who is now 26 years old, has slipped behind countryman Clement Lenglet in the Catalan Giants pecking order. Persistent injuries have hampered his progress at the new camp. The centre-back managed just 13 La Liga appearances last season as Barca surrendered the La Liga title to El Clasico rival Real Madrid. He was also tested positive for COVID before the club's 8-2 Champions League humiliation at the hands of Bayern, and now is the latest player to be cast aside by new Barca boss Ronald Koeman. The former Holland chief has already offloaded Ivan Rakitic and told Luis Suarez and Arturo Vidal they are not in his future plans. Rakitic also just joined Sevilla, and Juventus are poised to sign Suarez if he passes the test. Umtiti has been formally linked with Man United and Arsenal, as I just said, in the past few years. It'll be very interesting to see whether the two clubs actually go back in for him. I think out of the two clubs of us, I think Man United are most likely to go in for Samuel Umtiti because we've got quite a lot of centre-backs at the moment and we'll have to let go pretty much most of them except from Gabriel Saliba, maybe Mario Luis. We'll probably go and sign him. So I think Man United will be the ones in the race. But, we haven't been linked with him yet so far this summer, which is quite surprising because the last few years we've always always been linked with Umtiti, especially last summer. He was a player that we were looking at. Instead, we got David Luiz because we just didn't have enough money. But now Barcelona, that they've got a lot of older players on the books right now, like Rakitic, Luis Suarez, and those kind of players. They've got a lot of those players on their books, and then just to get those wages off the books, they're just ripping up their contracts and saying just get out. It's not the nicest thing to do, but instead of getting a transfer fee, that's what Barcelona are doing to try and get their players off. And obviously, since they're playing for Barcelona, other clubs will be interested in them because, if they're playing for Barcelona, they must be some sort of good. So I think other clubs are looking at that and swooping in for some of these players. Rakitic obviously returning to Sevilla, Luis Suarez looks like he's going to Juventus, and etc. So I think Umtiti could be next in that order. I think the problem with Umtiti is that he's got a lot of injuries. He's a brilliant player. I think he's a quality centre-back, but he's got so many injuries, so I don't think you can get 40-50 straight appearances out of him without him picking up an injury. And I think that is one of the reasons I wouldn't go after Umtiti this summer, for that very reason. Maybe Man United would, because they are in the need for a centre-back at the moment, but they are in the need of a left-sided centre-back. I'm not sure if Umtiti is that, but he is still a quality centre-back, and if he can sort out his issues, then I think he has the potential to be a top class centre-back. What he showed at Lyon and why Barcelona initially bought him, and his early days at Barcelona just showed how good of a player he is. What do you guys think of Umtiti? Leave it in the comment section down below. Do you think he's someone we should go after if we do end up selling a lot of our centre-backs, maybe as a backup for the younger players like Saliba and Gabriel? What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Next bit of news is on Philippe Coutinho, as apparently, this is dead and set now. Philippe Coutinho will not be coming to Arsenal, in my opinion. And I think this is now fact because Ronald Koeman, there were noises coming out of Spain, from Spain newspapers, that, Philippe Coutinho wasn't going to come to Arsenal because Ronald Koeman really wanted to keep him. And basically, Ronald Koeman being a new manager at Barcelona meant that we weren't going to get him, and he wanted to give players a clean slate. He is letting go a lot of the older players. And compared to them, Philippe Coutinho isn't all that old, because he is, I think, 27 or 28 years old compared to some of the players they are selling, like Luis Suarez and Rakitic, who are 30, 31. As I've said before with Umtiti, Coutinho is still a young player in regards to them, and he has a good 4 or 5 years left in him. So I do think he will stay at Barcelona and fight for his place, because remember, he is like worth 140 odd million pounds, so he's not cost cheap, and just let him go on the cheap won't be ideal for Barcelona. They would lose out on a lot of money, especially if the player would go on to do very well. So it'd be a very big blow for Barcelona. So I think it is the right good idea for them to give him another chance, and if it doesn't work, then they'll probably loan him out. But I think by next season we'll have better players than Philippe Coutinho, so better younger players like Jose Mauer. So I don't think we need Philippe Coutinho right now. If we do get Aouar, because we have Ceballos as well, we can play in that position. But what do you guys think? Do we still need Philippe Coutinho? Like, Jose Mauer is still, if Jose Mauer does come in, he'll be in sort of that position, and Dani Ceballos can also play there. So, what do you guys think will happen in that respect? Philippe Coutinho, do you think he'll get a good run in at Barcelona? Do you think he'll blow it up or something? I'm not too sure, but it will be very interesting to see how, Philippe Coutinho does fit into, rejuvenating Barcelona, that Ronald Koeman is trying to build a new team, and Philippe Coutinho looks like to be an integral part of that. And I think if I was Barcelona as well, maybe not Barcelona, but Ronald Koeman, I'll probably give him another chance as well. He has been one of the world's best players at one point, which is why he moved to Barcelona for 140 million pounds. So I would give him another chance, at least for another season, maybe half a season, and maybe loan him out in the second half of the season. I don't know. And it does look like Ronald Koeman is being very ruthless in his decisions, and it does look like that he has talking to Philippe Coutinho, and he does want him to stay. But it is sort of a blow for us, I think, and because he was a player that we are looking to build around, the Brazilian core, as you would say, and he would be a very good player addition to the side, because he is a player that gives us a lot of goals from midfield, something that we have been lacking. But if we do bring in Aouar, I think that situation will be sorted out. But in my opinion, my understanding is that we won't be signing Philippe Coutinho this summer, and he would be staying at Barcelona, as Ronald Koeman wants to keep him. So that is the news, that this Coutinho deal is now off. Next bit of news is on Rob Holding. Now, this is quite surprising, as we said last week, that Newcastle were really close to signing him, and Arsenal apparently pulled the plug on Rob Holding's move to Newcastle. Arsenal have changed their minds on letting Rob Holding leave on loan to Newcastle, and are currently unwilling to let the defender depart. The centre-back had been expected to complete a short-term switch to Newcastle this week, with game time looking set to be very limited at Arsenal this season. The Gunners have brought in Gabriel Magalhaes, and William Saliba has returned from his loan spell, adding a huge amount of competition to the centre of defence defence alongside David Luiz, Socrates, Shkodran Mustafi, Callum Chambers, Pablo Mari, and with Kieran Tierney and Sead Kolasinac playing on the left of a 3-man defence sometimes. Holding looked likely to be sacrificed, at least on loan, but Sky Sports report that Arsenal have now made a U-turn and are unwilling now to let him leave. Newcastle still remain interested in the player, but Mikel Arteta is happy to let Socrates, Mustafi and Chambers leave, and the desire to hold on to Holding may indicate that exits are getting closer for the other centre-backs. Napoli are keen to bring in Socrates, while Fulham and Leeds have been linked with Chambers and Holding as well. Leeds have been linked with Holding, but finding a buyer for Mustafi may prove more difficult because he has been injured, Mustafi, so it's going to be quite hard to find a suitor. Arteta had suggested that Holding was ahead of his rivals as he started the Community Shield alongside Tierney and Luiz at the back and played well in a surprise victory over Liverpool. That performance may well have kept him at the Emirates for the forthcoming season. I could see Newcastle miss out. Now, in my opinion, I think Rob Holding, have we actually made a U-turn? Is this actually real? I'm not too sure, because Rob Holding is someone that, you know, we could get a good bit of money for, because he still has quite a bit of a contract left and he is still 24 years old. So we could actually get quite a bit of money for him, between 10 to 15 million pounds, and would represent a huge profit to what we signed him for around 3 to 4 million pounds. So I think we should try and sell him this summer. He is quite a good defender, I do think, but is he good enough for Arsenal Football Club? I don't think so, and I think we should try and get rid of Rob Holding as soon as possible. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section down below. Do we hold on to Rob Holding, or do we let him go for good money and try and fund deals for the other places that we do need to improve in our squad? So leave that in the comment section down below, and that is the news on Rob Holding. So that is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please do like, subscribe. Sorry the video is late today. I just, a lot of things going on, a bit busy, so sorry if the video is a bit late. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.